hours, but it ain't long before I long for you like a ray of hope coming through the blue. When it all gets dark and then the whole thing falls apart, I guess it doesn't really matter about the rain, 'cause we'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again, 'cause we could be lifted, lifted, lifted. We could be lifted.
It's another time of the week again to discuss issues that affect each of us, and it's a honor that I will be having the Registrar and Chief Executive of Joint Admission Matriculation Board, Professor Ishaq Olariwaju Oloyede, join me on Vocal Point this morning. That will be via telephone call. Good morning, and you're welcome on Vocal Point this morning. I am Omonike Babatunde. Very soon we'll be joined by the Registrar of JAMB, as we'll be having some detailed conversation with him this morning. And do know that you can be a part of the conversation over time by contributing via our WhatsApp number by sending a message to 091 6737 5588 for WhatsApp only. Now, let me give a brief history about Professor Ishaq Olariwaju Oloyede CON and FNAL. Is a Nigerian professor of Islamic Studies and Academics. He was the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, and I can remember I was still in school at that time when he was the Vice Chancellor. That was throughout the 4 years I was in school. And he's also the current Registrar and Chief Executive of Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. Now, under his administration, I was talking on the registrar, there are some initiatives that were started. Now I'll list some of them. There's a central admission processing system for automation of admission process, the institution of equal opportunity group for the conduct of universal tertiary matriculation examination, UTME, for blind candidates, which is impressive. Also, the expansion of the capacities of CBT centers for standardization purposes, the introduction of e-ticketing for complaint, that's for students. I'm still talking about the initiative, the introduction of the Integrated Bronchial and Syllabus System, IBASS, for prompt delivery of admission requirement, and still the use of biometric authentication to confirm validity of registration. The introduction of e-slip printing, the introduction of management dashboard to monitor registration and admission exercise real time. Others also includes the use of CCTV camera in all CBT centers to monitor the examination and registration process real time, and exemplary fund management, which has actually shown its transparency and honesty. And also, at some point in time, a known journalist, Kunle Akogun, had rightly stated that all needs to be consolidated in order to avoid the incidence of the well-known Nigerian syndrome of policy somersault and program discontinuity that often characterize the advent of any new administration in this climate. That is to say, there should be continuity of what he has started. And in 2019, 2020, 2021, and even up to date, about 50 billion naira has been remitted to the federal government, although this begs a certain question as regards JAMB being a revenue body for the government. Well, this and many more will be answered by Professor Ishaq Oloyede in just a moment.
Like a ray of hope coming through the blue. When it all gets dark and then the whole thing falls apart, I guess it doesn't really matter about the rain, 'cause we'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again, 'cause we could be lifted, lifted, lifted. We could be lifted from the shadow. Lifted up today, lifted all the way.
You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin. And as I said earlier, I have Professor Ishaq Oloyede in the house with me. Good morning, sir. Our listeners are with you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you so much. All right, so Professor, let's start with the remittance. That's talking about the one that drew my attention to the perceived honesty and transparency about you, sir. That's starting from the time of University of Ilorin and even now to JAM. You remitted not less than 50 billion naira to the federal government in the last 6 years. But then, how tasking has this been, sir?
Thank you very much for the compliments. I do not see them as tasking. I believe that it's the right thing to do. We have, it's not just about returning money to the government. We improve on the efficiency of what we are doing. We reduce the price of the form. Prior to 2016, we were aware that apart from the fact that the official price was 5,000 naira, people who hardly get it for 5,000. There are people who bought the form due to ordering for as much as 25,000. But what we did was we need to seek the permission of the government and reduce the amount from the cost from 5,000 to 3,500.
Okay.
So when we talk of returns, it's not just return. It's after we have reduced the amount necessary to minimum level. And again, when people talk about returns, it's only in Nigeria that we do not make critical assessment of what we are doing. I need to ask anybody throughout the world, where do you find the government paying the salary of people who run an establishment like us? They pay it from their own resources. What we return to the government is barely enough to cover what the government pays as salary to our staff. In fact, before 2016, government was not only paying salary, government was paying overhead and capital. So the first thing we did was to say government should not pay us capital, government should not pay overhead, but government still pays the salary. It is unsustainable for people to think that the salary being paid by government is taken for granted. Why it is good to return money? The impression being given is arising from the fact that we all contribute one way or the other in destroying the nation, and we take it for granted that the nation should be destroyed. Otherwise, to whatever is the income, even take for granted that government is now paying our salary. Government pays the salary, then why must we waste what should come to government in return? So in many countries of the world where we have our peers running this type of services for the nation, they pay. If you go to UK, for example, UCAS does not only pay its own staff. UCAS returns money in terms of endowment, in terms of support to universities.
But again, Professor, as regards returning that, we need to, I need you to affirm a claim or to refute a claim, as it may be, as regards JAM being a revenue agency for the government. What's your take on this particular one?
I don't know what you call revenue agency. So if somebody is put in charge of a business, and what belongs to that government is returned to it, it's a revenue. You generate money for the founder of your station because people pay. So do you become revenue generating merely because what belongs to somebody who pays your salary, you pay to him the what accrues from advertisement on your station? I think it's a product of lack of depth. When at the roadside level, you talk that anybody who returns revenue is a revenue generating. We are if we are not revenue generating, I believe we are not. But we are also not revenue wasting establishments. So for me, that's not an issue. If you like, call us revenue generating. Okay. But we are happy that we are not revenue wasting.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor. And again, we need to talk about some of the last the challenges encountered during the last JAMB conducted. And over the years, actually, there has been some recurring issues that's talking about the poor service experience by students at the different CBT locations across the country, to rescheduling of exams. What happened? And again, can we say JAMB can be exonerated or absolved of any of the blames when it comes to these challenges and the complaints of students and their guidance?
I think it depends on who makes the allegation and how true the allegations are. Anybody who has a failure want to look for reasons for the failure. We are not perfect. JAMB has never been perfect. But we deserve commendation from those who know what we are doing. Okay. If you talk of rescheduling, are you saying that if there are defects, we should not reschedule? And we should just, because we are JAMB, continue to go if we know that something is wrong. We operate about 700 centers across the country. Less than 40 of these centers belong to us. Okay. About 150 belong to various government and non-governmental establishments. Okay. Then others, about 400 or thereabouts, belong to private individuals who want to make money. But because these facilities are necessary, we license them, we monitor them. But if in the whole exam, you are talking of 700, and out of 700, 30 had a problem, how does that justify somebody condemning the whole examination? They conduct examination for 1.6 million people. Okay. So those who have problem are just located in, it's unfortunate that they had problem. They are located in 3 or 4 states of the Federation, and they are less than 5% of the totality of the students, the candidates that we are attending to. And we found it necessary to immediately organize a perfect examination and replacement. Unless we want to say whether it is good or not, we should cover it up, which I will not be party to. I believe that what we are doing is that whatever, even if the examination looks perfect to the candidates, we have means quality assurance mechanism of knowing what is perfect and what is not perfect and what's responsible for it. Some of the noise you hear are from parents who are not eyewitnesses. They rely on excuses for failure provided by their children to them, and some of them exaggerate. Some of them even cook these stories to narrate to their people. As far as we are concerned, we believe we are doing well. Okay. There is room for improvement. We will still continue to improve. We see nothing, absolutely nothing, that makes us uncomfortable. We see everything that we are doing as working. This year, for example, before the commencement, we told you what we were trying to do. As people are becoming wiser, we think we should be ahead of them. There are criminals in any other society. You have this large number of people who have nothing to do, call themselves tutorial masters and tutorial offices. They have the resources, of course, most of them illegally acquired resources, to fight this system. And we are not in competition with them because we are not, we believe we should just do what we are right. But truth will also always come out. Prevail. It might not be immediate. So as far as we are concerned, we are doing very well. Anybody wants to make unfounded noise is free to do so. He's free to make his own comments.
Thank you so much.
His own remarks. As far as the board is concerned, this year, for example, what we did was a breakthrough for us because we may not go to the market and be publicizing what we intended, but we gave you a hint that what we gave the nation a hint that we wanted to try some other things this year. And the thing worked very well. Out of, we have less than 30 centers, even with all that will say the problems, and they are located in certain, and we knew that such things might happen, and we planned for it, and immediately Plan B was brought in. And of course, you had people who are sponsoring some people. You saw a lady that was crying and so on, and you later knew what happened, that the girl was just framed up by individuals who have asked to grant with the board, and the girl was just a two. In any case, you have not heard the last about the case. I believe at the right time, you will see the criminality of what people are doing, and how they are using these innocent boys and girls to perpetrate evils that they are committing. As far as we are concerned, we will continue to do what we believe is right, and we will continue to improve on what we are doing. I believe that we are out to serve the Nigerian interest, the interest of education, and we will continue to do so.
Thank you so much, Professor. All right, we need to go on this very short break, and we'll be back to continue with our conversation. And that will be talking about the registration process after this very short break. Do not worry, I still have Professor in the house on Vocal Points we made this morning.
Better people, announcement. This one loud. Now so if you MTN don't land with another jolliment arrangement to Totori you. With just 53,000 naira pere, MTN go sama you the new Nokia C21 4G smartphone with 1 gigabyte data and 100% bonus on top any data bundle where you buy for the next 6 months. Sharp. The phone battery dey strong, it dey last longer, and the design fine well. You go fit use your fingerprint and face to lock and unlock the phone anytime, anywhere. Even self, you fit to pay small, because MTN love you and won't make your life easy. No carry last, no do yourself, Just enter any MTN shop near you. Make you get your own before you finish. Better things no dey waste time, Remember, terms and conditions dey sha. MTN, wetin we dey do today?
Madam, you still dey here? Make your meat no go spoil.
I still dey here. Wait first, how you even take send your own money?
My transfer dem na sharp since I begin use Pay Attitude app and *569#.
Which one be that?
Pay Attitude na app and USSD code wey go allow you send and receive money fiam from your different bank accounts. You fit turn pay with your phone number for POS and online and do cash withdrawal for ATM or agent shop. Dial *569# or download the Pay Attitude app. Begin use am. E dey work well.
Pay Attitude. Pay with phone number.
Baba God, now only you be the God where they do wonder. You don't show your power for the word buruburu. Ewo, all your wonder work them where you they do, they show for the whole world. Now only you get Agidigba power. June Holy Ghost Service of Redeemed Christian Church of God don't reach you. Topic now, understanding the God of wonders. It will happen on Friday, will be June 2nd, 2023 for Redemption City of God, kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, and for 3 kilometer by 3 kilometer new auditorium. And for Dove Television on top DSTV channel 349 and for GoTV channel 83, plus on top all our social media platform them for 7 o'clock in the evening. Now Pastor E. Adeboye and other anointed pastor them go minister.
You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin, and I still have Professor Ishaq Oloyede, the JAMB registrar, in the house with me, and we've been having detailed conversation that's talking about being a revenue body for the government, and also talking about the remittance of the over 50 billionaire, which shows the honesty and transparency of JAMB. And right now, Professor, are you still with me, sir?
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right, to the next one, which is talking about easier registration. There's actually been a call for the easier registration process. Well, although we have to commend JAMB for the fact that you've gone digital in the past years, but again, people are calling for easier registration process, and that's to say, okay, ways to make the registration process less cumbersome than it is. What's your take on this, sir?
Yes, I think it could be easier, but this is what we can afford for now.
Okay.
In other climes, people sit down in their homes and register for this type of exam. But given our own environment, is that possible? Are people literate enough? Would they not be extorted and exploited? Would the system not be more corrupt than it is? These are questions you will answer. That given our circumstances, yes, we will continue to make. I don't know what. I am not aware of any country in the world that, given our level of development, will register within 40 days 1.8 candidates. To register the UTME candidate, 1,590,727. We register them within 40 days. And doing this using these 700 centers across the country. If you allow people ordinarily, most 80% of these candidates that you say they should register, look at other examination and other bodies and assessment bodies when they do their registration, even when they do it through the school system. Recently, one of the examination bodies was lamenting the roles played by schools in misinforming them about the candidates and their thing, and to the extent that the examination body had to establish direct contact with the students. Our own examination is not school-based. We deal with the individual candidates, and we provide the platform for these candidates to go to accredited centers where we can monitor and ensure that their services are provided. When you talk of direct entry students, how many are direct entry students? If we could register for 1.5, 1.6 million in 40 days, what is less than 40,000? The direct entry candidates, they are not up to 50,000, all of them put together. Because direct entry is an aberration. It's not part of our system. The Nigerian system runs 6334. There is no room for A-level in our 6334. But because of our history, we try to bend backwards to accommodate this. And it has become an epicenter of corruption. Anybody who wants to make easy money now runs an A-level school where 3 million, 4 million naira are being charged. And with little or nothing. They have no qualification for going to these direct entry schools. No pre-qualification, whether you have 1 credit or 2 credits, or you have no credit at all, you suddenly become A-level candidates. That's the type of rubbish that we are running in most of these places, where people do no formal training for the so-called A-level. All they do is to collect money and arrange some corrupt means of their avoiding UTME. And that's why the board, in a bid to improve this, okay, good, whatever you want, whichever means you want to go through to the university, let yours examine you. So we are still discussing how to make UTME mandatory for everybody, whether you want to come back in a 300 level or 400 level. You must show evidence that you have pre-knowledge, you have some knowledge before coming to the university, not just somebody emerging from nowhere and coming with A-level without O-level. And somebody who sits for UTME who scores less than 100, suddenly having and being on top for direct entry to 200 level. They're destroying the system. And these corrupt people have a means of making money, and they have the capacity to do whatever they want to. They now make the noise, sponsor some of these boys. I'm sure that security agencies are aware of what they are doing and what they are doing, why they are doing it. I believe at the right time, Nigerians will know who and who is doing what. Because people who have no means of doing, there are established private schools. They are doing good work. But there are criminals who have penetrated them. They have absolutely nothing. If you have the knowledge, now about 4 students of Obafemi, 3 students of Obafemi Awolowo University who are engaged by some people to go and write, to go and register for students who are about coming into the university are already charged to court now. And of course, last year we charged to court about 70. We just made them representative. We picked two from each of the states of the federation because we do not have capacity to prosecute all the criminals. We just make selective, say, okay, pick any two from any of the states of the federation. Pick one man, one woman to show the whole thing, to be representative of the character of Nigeria. And we brought 70, was it not 72 or so, 76 of them, they ended up being 77, to the courts. And many of them were convicted. Some are still in court now.
But again, Professor, why is it that you have no power to prosecute them?
We cannot prosecute. We are not prosecutors. Only police and the Ministry of Justice prosecute.
Okay.
And it costs a lot of money.
Okay.
If I want to prosecute two per state, it will cost a minimum of 2 million to prosecute one.
Okay.
A minimum, because they go to court, they will adjourn. You will pay night allowance for the person who moves from Abuja to Ikare or to Ebonyi. You will pay for his flight, he will come back. Then there will be adjournment. At another meeting, the legal officer will go. You are going to pay the lawyers for their services if they are not in. So these are incidentals that must be borne. That's why we could not. That's why we are saying let's pick some of them because it's not my duty to become a public prosecutor. So the prosecution must be done by those who are, and they are doing it. Police, civil defense, SSS, they are doing this, but we know it costs money because we have to pay the bills of those who are going, particularly our staffs and witnesses who have to go. Witnesses will go to court. You have to pay them. Every time there is an adjournment, court does not see today. This you have to pay. And you have to budget for it before you can spend the money. So all these are things that people take for granted, and that if you have to prosecute all offenders, then we will have no money to do other things that we are doing.
All right,
because it costs money.
Thank you so much, Professor. Let me combine two questions into one, knowing that we've spent more than the time we began with you, Professor. But then allow me to combine these two questions now. Just talking about the public outcry by parents and guardians to have the reduction on the JAMB fee. That's due to the current economic situation experienced right now. And again, talking about the validity of JAMB results, unlike WAEC, NECO, and NAPTEB, that is for a year. Why can't we? Why this difference when it comes to validity of JAMB results for a longer time or period of time? And again, talking about the outcry of parents to have the fee reduced.
Let me start from the issue of validity.
Okay.
I think anybody who goes through, who knows what education assessment is, will not make that type of argument. It's completely an ignorant viewpoint. It means that that person does not know that there are different types of assessment.
Okay.
You have assessment that is purposeful, is for a purpose. You have assessment that is an achievement assessment.
Okay.
The examination we are conducting is one, and we conduct a 2-hour examination to determine a purpose, placement of the candidates. The WAEC and WASC that you are talking about, at least ordinary little knowledge will have shown you that they are not the same. That is an achievement test. To get a credit in, say, biology, in WASC, how many exams would that candidate take? That candidate will be assessed for 3 years, what we call continuous assessment, assessing the candidate and recording his scores. He will have taken not less than 12 papers. Then at the final examination, he will have paper 1, he will have paper 2, he will have practical. All this will be added together. That's when you are talking of achievement tests.
Okay.
Achievement test is almost forever. It doesn't lapse. But when you conduct, somebody goes, we want to recruit people into the Navy now. The JAMB conduct an exam for us to assess these people, whether they are suitable. You now say we should bank it. because that's a qualification that those people have attained something. It's too pedestrian an argument that anybody who has knowledge of, unless that person is mischievous, anybody who has gone to any type of college of education or teacher training will not argue like that. I respond to it, or anybody who is educated will respond. I remember when some people made that argument. There's somebody from Ghana, I think was the registrar of WAEC at that time, who was a Ghanaian. He responded that, I've not seen this type of illiterate argument. And the man called, he published it and said, why will these people, they don't even know anything about assessment. Assessment differs. When you were in secondary school, people were not saying you're in your year 1, year 2, people were not saying you have credit. They would say first position, second position. In geography, I took third position because they are ranking you among your peers. So, but when you are graduating, they are not saying you are first or second. They rank you on the basis of credit. How many credit or distinction do you earn? Assessment is a profession. It's not something that people on the roadside, whether drunk or undrunk, will just be making comments about. Anybody who has deep knowledge of what we are doing will know that this assessment that we are doing is not bankable because it's one exam for a purpose. If you like to call it one chance examination, you do the examination, you cannot use it and you cannot bank the achievement, because what happens to you on the day of the exam, what is your mood, many things will affect or can improve or affect negatively your performance. So I think we should not be listening or propagating things that will make others listening to us to think that they don't go to school at all. So the issue is that assessment for this type of thing. For instance, if you go and do unlike some of these examination level things that people are doing now, that is just urgent. If you go properly to a normal A-level school, you are going to run for 2 years. During these 2 years, you will take a minimum of 7 papers in each of these subjects, and they will add that to your final exam. Then you are now asking somebody who takes a 2-hour examination in 4 subjects, less than 30 minutes in each of the subjects, to now bank it for him as a record of his achievement or as a record of what he knows or he does not know. The purpose of our examination is to rank the candidate. It is not to record their achievements. That's why if we are, unless there is insanity, nobody in the world banks such examination. We conducted examination, for instance, for immigration last year. This year, they are recruiting, we conducted another. Somebody now say, oh, why can't you bank that of last year for them? If you bank that of last year, how do you compare it with those people who are coming in afresh? Will you, the 40, somebody who scored 40 last year, will you regard it as the same 40 this year? The answer is no. And somebody who scored 80 last year who could not be admitted, by the time he competes with somebody this year, and he could still not be admitted. So what happened? Because some people score higher. We are ranking the candidates. It's you who are concerned about who scored 300, who scored 370. Our own is to rank the candidates. Their score does not matter. What they score, somebody may score 1. For instance, if you want to study agri, or you want to study education, where we have less number, in terms of number, we have less candidates than the available spaces. We are conducting an exam for them just for the purpose of conducting, because it's not the UTME exam that qualifies them for the university. It is the whole level. Even if you score 400 over 400 in WAEC, and you do not have 5 credits, will you be admitted to the university? No, we are just pursuing the shadow. And as regards what you have said about
the reduction in fee.
Reduction in fee. Yeah. To me, It's not an argument. We have reduced it to the minimum possible.
Okay.
Please, I give you the assignment. Identify anywhere in the world that you get candidates paying less than what we pay today, or as little as what we pay. You cannot find. You are talking about application to hundreds of universities at once, not one, not two. When people were applying to individual universities, you pay 5,000 to each of them, to Ibadan, to ABU, to Zaria. And you are talking of people who pay 5,000, 10,000 for application into secondary school. Okay. You are talking about candidates who pay hundreds of thousands to school fees in primary school, in secondary school. That is not, the economic situation does not affect that. You are talking of people who can afford to sit for TOEFL to IEL examination paying 60,000, 70,000. You are talking about people who can pay 60,000, 80,000 to go and get a visa to travel to one country or the other. What are we talking about?
Right.
You cannot, there is no justification for it. Because those people that you think, I used to think that people cannot afford. Go and examine what they pay to all these cooks that they call tutorial masters all about. People go and see what they pay to try to see whether they can influence us. Recently, we sacked many of our staff, a large number of our staff. We had to deal with them because some people were trying to influence them with money. Right. They are not influencing them with 3,500, which we charge,
okay,
which
Professor.
you consider is too high. Anybody who says that is too high, we need to go and examine what is going on in the education
Thank you
sector.
so much, Professor. We need to go on this very short break again. That's to generate revenue again, as you said earlier.
Because I told you I have 30 minutes.
Yes, 30 minutes. Thank you so much for your time, sir. And we... all right. Thank you so much, Professor, for being on Vocal Point. We sincerely appreciate your time. And we'll go on this very short break. I'll be back here to pick calls and your contribution on Vocal Point this morning.
Ìpele kan tó kàn láti ibi tá a wà, àmúṣe ọjọ́ ọ̀la tó dára ju tòní lọ, àti àǹfààní tá a ní láti ṣe wọ́n láṣeyọrí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ojú inú wa ṣe gbòòrò tó. Tẹra mọ́ fífi ojú inú wò ó ní báyìí tó ní àǹfààní láti ṣe.
Airtel, a reason to lead.
No limits, go for it. Drink down, no go for it. Life na highway, be I just stay for my lane. Full speed ahead, oh, no limits in my way. God don't make them my path, nourishment to give me spark. So I go shine my shine and I will go for it. No limits, go for it. Drink down, no go for it. Nourishment is a goal, nourishment is a body, motivation that you need, confidence all day and night. I know milk when they go, because you get to the strength. No stopping, no limits. Now go for it. No limits, go for it. Drink down, go for it.
This is a vacancy announcement. The Royal Media Group, owners of Royal FM Ilorin, Kaduna and Asaba, is seeking to employ talented on-air personalities, news editors, sales and marketing executives, broadcast engineers, and program presenters. Candidates must possess good command of the English language and Yoruba language. Ability to speak more than 2 Nigerian languages could be an added advantage. Please note that for the position of on-air personality and program presenter, applicants are required to send a 1-minute voice demo alongside their CVs. All CVs should be forwarded to recruitment@royalfm.net. Again, all CVs should be forwarded to recruitment@royalfm.net. Note that only successful applicants will be called for interview. Deadline for the application is 15th of June. Announcer, Management.
Please listen to this announcement. Do you need competent hand-to-hand repair work on your phones, computers, smart TVs, projectors, and Apple products? Visit Femtech Repair Center, Challenge Ilorin. Apart from the state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment, we have qualified and well-trained staff to give your gadgets the best care. We also do quick replacement of broken laptops and phone screen at pocket-friendly price. Don't waste time. Take your faulty phones and computers to Femtech Repair Center, Shop 36 and 37, Echo Shopping Complex, Challenge Ilorin today, or call 081 15 25 2092 081 15 25 2092. The number again 081 15 25 2092. Make sure it's Femtech Repair Center, Challenge Ilorin. Announcer. You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin, and that was Professor Ishaq Oloide, who I just spoke with. Well, that's the time I had with him, and he had to give us more than the time we began for on the show, and we say sincere thank you and gratitude to Professor. And the studio line is open to hear your own opinion. Hello, you're welcome on Vocal Point. Good morning. Okay, please do well to call back. 0810-8501-371 is the number to call. The studio line is open to hear your own opinion today. And again, you can also send us a message on 091-6737-5588. Hello, good morning.
This is Rotimi from Oro.
You're welcome, Mr. Rotimi.
I like you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Call this program.
Thank you.
For bringing the professor on the board this time around.
Thank you.
He knows what he knows, and he has cleared everything.
Okay.
But what I would like the professor to take attention is how all these students took jump and get all the necessary score to enter some university, especially on medicine and pharmacy. Some universities did not accept this or admit the student. Please, I want you to take care of this and take note of all these things so that all these students will not lose their admission, lose their money and everything. Let the university accept them and admit them because they are qualified for it, because they have all the requirements. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rotimi from Oro, for your contribution. The number to call is still 0810-8501-371. Trust me, Professor is still listening to the show because he said he's going to listen on his way, and definitely and take up every contribution we have. He will put it into consideration. 0810-8501-371 is still the number to call, or you send in a message to a WhatsApp number on 091-6737-5588. We'll go on this very short break again, and I'll be back.
Drink down, don't go for it. Yeah. Life my highway. Me, I just stay for my lane. Full speed ahead, no limits in my way. God don't make them my path. Nourishment to give me spark. So I go shine my shine and I will go for it. Go, go. No limits, go for it. Go, go. Drink down, don't go for it.
Tí kò lábàwọ́n ní ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́ nítorí náà fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
So, babes, what's up with the wedding preparation? Hope everything is planned out.
Everything is in order. I can't wait for my big day and all the excitement.
Aww. Have you checked to the Ashoibi? Food vendor, decor.
All checked, babes. Oh, wait. Myself and Bob are yet to find a good event center. All the ones we've been seeing, it is either bad lighting or...
Say no more. The Savannah Event Center has got you covered. Located in a secured and serene environment with spacious parking lot, fully air-conditioned, clean sound system, and the hall can conveniently seat all your guests. They even have a banquet hall to host birthdays, symposium, conferences, dinner and award nights, and luncheons.
The best part is there is a huge discount available from now till the end of July. The Savannah Event Center is located within the magnificent Savannah Hotel, Kilometer 2 at Dashekpo Road by Garkombi Junction, Ilorin, Kwara State. For bookings, enquiries, and reservations, please call 090-3933-2299. 090-3933-2299.
Uncle Jerry, thank you. This wouldn't have been beautiful without you.
Savannah Event Center, built just for you.
Be alone without all the ache and pain and the April showers. But it ain't long before I long for you, like a ray of hope coming through the blue. When it all gets dark and then the whole thing falls apart, I guess it doesn't really matter about the rain, 'cause we'll get through it anyway. We'll get up and start again, 'cause we could be lifted, lifted, lifted.
You're still on to Vocal Point on Royal FM 95.1 Ilorin. And as I said earlier, that you can send in your messages and your contribution on our comment section on Facebook. That's because that's about the time we have. But then let's pick this last caller for the day before we end the show. Hello, good morning. Okay, please do well to call back. Well, if I still get one more call before I say my goodbye on the show today. But then, before I say my goodbye, I say a big thank you to my producer, Mr. Larutimi Oshin. Thank you so much for the success of today's program. A big thank you. And also a big thank you to Professor Ishaq Oloyede himself for coming on the show and granting our request to have him on Vocal Point this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Isa from Ilorin.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Isa, for coming on.
We have had the professors, and we know they are doing a wonderful work and have a nice program. But I want to suggest something.
Okay.
To our institutions. I think at every stage, our students should be prepared in such a way that after their studies, they will come out to be self-reliant. That reality has come on us now. No job anywhere, but the student should be able to depend on himself from what he has learned from the institution. That's my contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your take on that, sir. All right, that's the last caller for today. And again, as I said earlier, Professor is still listening and getting to document all our opinions and all our contribution on the show. And again, you can still drop your comment on our Facebook page, and all will be forwarded to him as well. A big thank you again to Professor Ishaq Oloyede and to my producer. Thank you so much. And that's about the time I have on the show today. Join me next week when we're going to have a greater time. And to those who are still calling, sincere apologies. Kindly send a text message. Kindly send a message to our WhatsApp number so we can have your take. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.